Roadman Saf.
Hey everyone, this is Neela.
Hey yo, it's your boy Funke, the coolest teen rapper online.
What's up? It's me, Alfie. You're listening to The Cool Table with
You're
Adrian.
listening to The Cool
And
Table.
you're listening to The Cool Table.
You're listening to The Cool Table.
And I'm not sure if you know this, but right now, you're in the cut with my man, Adriel Smiley.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We're in the cut with Thompson Egbo-Egbo, or Thompson Egbo-Egbo.
No, Egbo-Egbo, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I was surprised. I'm like, oh, who's that? I want to meet that guy.
You picked one of my least favorite ice cream flavors,
Nice.
mint and chocolate chip.
So we're starting off on a good place.
For sure. I'm just keeping it 7,000. But you're not the first person to choose it. There's been several people who have chosen this flavor, so I must be out the loop here. Tell me what's so great about mint and chocolate chip.
I don't know. It's like, guess what is it, after 8 or something like that chocolate. Can't you remember that chocolate?
Yeah.
Do you not like those chocolates either? You don't have a sweet tooth?
No, I do, but just not for anything
What's
chocolate.
your favorite ice cream?
Mine's rum and raisin.
Oh my gosh. I think raisins are disgusting. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No raisins for me. That's a great way to ruin a, carrot cake.
Really? Oh, you're one of those people. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
definitely one of those people.
Now, raisins are fire. But mint and chocolate chip is, I guess, people like the contrast of the two. I feel like it's more of a clash and a contrast, but I guess everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah, I guess so. My girlfriend just made me cookies with M&Ms in it.
Okay.
And we had some bananas going bad, so she thought, like banana bread, like let me make some banana cookies. They're disgusting. But I told her I liked it. I ate them anyway.
The guy said he told her he liked it. All right, you're a fraud.
Yeah,
you're a
hopefully
fraud.
she doesn't listen to this. But she knew. I wasn't.
You were fake
I'm
liking it.
No, well, yeah, like I'm one of those people like because I love food. Like you can see. So if I'm not like all about it, then it's not. She's like, you weren't jumping for joy and doing cartwheels like you do when you eat a box of chocolate chip cookies or something.
Don't kill me.
Yeah, it is what it is. She did her best.
Yeah, that's effort that matters. The offering is out right now, and you're going to be at the Rex every Sunday this month. First Sunday was last month. How was that?
It's been great. I just wanted to let you know about something quickly before we go.
Okay.
So I got this thing where, like 2 times, there's 2 scenarios which I'm just like, it's really bad for me when people are trying to talk to me. Is 1 when I'm eating, 2 when I'm watching TV, and so I'm like really enjoying this ice cream. So
No.
I'm barely like hearing what you're saying. It's like, I'm not just here to eat the ice cream. I'm supposed to have a conversation.
No, that's perfect.
Anyways, yes, they've been going really well. They've been going really well.
Oh, man. And it's going to be the 15th, 22nd, and 29th, 7 to 9. And again, that's the Rex Hotel. That's on Queen Street, 194 Queen Street West.
Exactly.
I haven't seen you kind of answer this question, so I wanted to ask you personally.
Okay.
You don't have vocals on most of your songs.
No.
How do you name the songs? Because most people just name whatever the hook is or the song gets named. How do you name the song when you don't really have vocals on it?
Okay. So it's a good question. So here's the thing. I should put more thought into it.
Okay.
Because we recorded a bunch of songs, and it's like Untitled Track 1 or like this track. And then when it came to mix the songs, I didn't know what songs would make it to the record. So we're mixing the songs, okay, whatever, not a big deal. Then we go to master them. It's like, okay, you need to come up with a name right now. So I just made some stuff up. And so that's how like the first track got that name. It was just like I was thinking that's the first one.
That's what
so I
made
was
me
just
think
like, it's not that serious, man. Just name them. So that's how that one got. And actually, in fact, that track. So there's 3 tracks on the album that we just made up in the studio, and so that kind of ties into that whole thing where it's just like, you know what? I didn't actually want that track to be on the record, just because I thought I was like, oh, it's a good kind of draft or starting. We should do something with it. And they're like, no, you got to put it on the record. So I had to get over myself a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just like, yeah, it's not that serious.
That's funny. That's basically what I wanted to ask you about next, because a lot of songs I know you do your thing on stage, and then you probably go record them after. Do you have like a preference in terms of which songs turn out better? Do you think between like doing it on stage first or in the studio first?
I would say my preference is to play the heck out of the song as much as you can before the studio. It's like to to be as tight as possible.
Okay.
And then that'll translate. But that just this time when we went into the studio, we did about 3 days in the studio.
Oh damn.
Which is probably 2.5 more days than you need to record a jazz record, but that's what we did. And so some of the stuff was just ideas that we threw together there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, three of the tunes that we kind of just made up in the studio made it to the record.
Okay.
Which for me was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. The only problem was the distance between sort of recording it, then mixing it, then finally mastering it. And by the time we chose what was going to be mastered, and then by the time it was released, I didn't even know how to play most of that music. So I had to go back. And in fact, the first single has been really annoying because people are like, "Oh, I want to hear it. Can you play it?" And I'm just like, "Oh man,
Probably not.
no." Yeah, I've been asking the bass player, so can you learn the song for me and
Don't
write it
kill
out
me.
so I can figure? Cause
That's what I was thinking.
I'm also kind of and because I kind of know it but not really, it makes it almost harder to learn it than if I was just taking something fresh and then having to learn it.
Because it's like halfway in your mind.
Yeah, it's halfway in my mind, but not quite.
That's what I was
fully
thinking too, because I know how much you like to kind of improvise on stage. So that probably has a kind of not contrast, but a contradiction.
Yeah.
When you're trying to remember things, you're like, let's freestyle some more.
Well, the other problem too now is that a lot of it's being recorded, it's on record. People are hearing the songs as like a complete songs, especially for the original stuff. Like things that are standards, okay, here's the melody and then that's it. So there's an element to, I'm also trying to almost learn some of the solos just to be able to give the audience a little bit of what they've received from like the recording. The actual recording, right? So it's not been fun.
Because I can imagine the original demo of a lot of these is probably twice as long as
or just exactly, or just different than you try to condense it and make some sort of cohesive sense out of something in the studio.
That's because this is like a great comparison to ask you about, because from your side, people probably want to hear exactly what the record is.
Exactly what the record is.
The record is?
Yeah. Because that's how you're used to hearing music. Yeah.
And I was saying for someone who's maybe an electronic DJ, those guys have more range to just kind of flip stuff all around, and that the crowd's not as mad if it's not the way. But with you, I'm sure the crowd's probably be furious if you.
It's in between. It's funny because I was at a John Mayer concert, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's playing one of his tunes. Which one is it? I mean, they're all kind of like that. Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, right? Okay. So there's a solo in it. He gets to the solo part, and the solo is almost note for note. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, yeah, it kind of has to be, because now we've memorized the solo almost like it's just like another lyric, right?
Yeah,
it's just a part of it. It's not. We don't think of it as.
That's crazy. That's so
solo,
true. That's so true. That's so true. If I went to a show and the solo wasn't the way I remembered it, I've been looking at it like, oh, it does something different, eh?
Yeah. Okay. So it's funny. We have there's one tune that I recorded because it was licensed by a ballet dance company, and so I had to learn the song with note for note, because that's what the dancers that's what they practice to. Their choreography went to that. So now since that time, I've got the song sort of and solo memorized. So now what I've done is I've actually made the solo that was originally part of it a part of the piece, but I still do a solo in it, and that's how. And then I use that to kind of bring it back.
Okay.
Make sense of it.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So there's always there's a bunch of different ways to go about it, and then there's another way where it's you don't really care and just whatever.
Thing,
you get what you get tonight. So.
You get what you get.
Yeah.
Get what you paid for. We're gonna talk about some important stuff. Now I know you used to hoop.
Yeah.
Talk about the experience of the Raptors winning the championship this past year. Were you in the city when that happened, and how did you celebrate, if you did celebrate?
So I wasn't in the city. That's funny. That's a question you're gonna have to cut me off at some point, because I could talk all day long about this.
I'm cool with that.
So loved it. I thought the win. I was one of those people when we got Kawhi. I was like, oh, cool. I think we'll go to the finals this year, and that was just kind of a throwaway thought. It wasn't because I was certain that we're going or anything like that. But I was like, you know what, this team, I think is poised and is strong enough, and there just might be enough of a shake-up right now that this could be
our continuity will take us. Yeah,
and you see that all the time where it's you see with teams. In fact, I'm sure Milwaukee felt like that way, right? It's of all the years to win, here's a time we can kind of sneak in before people kind of regroup and get themselves together. And in fact, we're probably about 2 more NBA seasons before we see another like team that can really dominate. Because I don't think there's a team right now that can really dominate. I am in the camp that I think the Lakers will be stronger than the Clippers, but that seems to be a minority camp.
I'm a Laker fan, so I'm cool with that.
But yeah, no, I thought, man, I was super happy. It's very funny. You know, there's a Max Killerman who's like taking over Skip Bayless, who's I gotta be, you know, politically correct. I can't say what I want to say about, and it's not even a swear. It's just the way I would have referred to Skip. But like, so I just didn't think very highly of that guy. But whatever. He said something I thought was very like interesting, and he was like, "Oh, everybody has this sort of recency bias, right, with the way they talk, and like also the way people kind of like." You know, want to discredit LeBron, and I'm just like, yo, nobody still has proven yet in the NBA that they're better than LeBron. I don't care. I love Kawhi. I'm a huge Kawhi fan, huge Durant fan, but they still haven't proven to me, in my opinion, anyways, that they're better than.
Okay.
You know, I get a lot of heat for saying that. That's totally fine. And so, you know, when we were sort of kind of coming in, and Kawhi's one of my favorite players. Like I loved on San Antonio. But I saw a recent stat which was interesting, was that he's actually missed more games than Anthony Davis, which is crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Whoa.
Like the amount of time they've been in the NBA.
Crazy.
He's actually missed more time. We'll see if they'll let him miss 22 games. I don't think I wish him all the best.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I don't think he's going to be healthy enough throughout the season, just because I think there's more there than to it. But you know, you got to be like, this is something we've been working on, and sometimes like. Yeah, sometimes if things work out, the timing works out.
Yeah.
We, you know, there's this idea that we got lucky, but like how many championships do we have to talk about in the last 10 years about lucky? Like when LeBron didn't have Kevin Love and Kyrie, and Golden State beat him. So, but nobody gave LeBron a pass there.
I know.
Or then actually they still kind of give him flack about losing to Dallas. But what people forget about is that year Dallas swept Kobe and the Lakers.
I know.
Right? It's just like,
I know.
So there's all this stuff where it's just like, oh, well, this player wasn't there. Like, shut up, man. Stop it.
I'm not hearing that.
You know, like
in the finals, we won 3 games in Golden State.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that's happened in the history of their run.
Yeah.
Like let alone in
for sure
in the finals.
And you're telling me those guys aren't good enough to like stop it? You know, it's funny, and even like with the Durant thing and this, I'm like, yo, let's remember that like he didn't do much. He went to a team, and again, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, he should have stayed there, or like gets all upset about people moving. Move if you want, but let's not forget that you went to a team that just won 73 games. You went to a team where like people couldn't double team you because there was other people there. So you went to a team the pressure was not there.
Imagine
so like,
having no double teams. Like.
So how, you know, when people want to automate, the people are so desperate because, you know, there's all this hate on LeBron, so desperate to crown KD, where it's like, all right, let's see when he gets to a team, when he gets to a situation where now people can double team you, and you know, now people can push you around. But here's the thing now, right? So
to me, he has proved it in such a way because he has Kyrie, who's the same teammate that LeBron had. You know, so LeBron dealing with Kyrie, how LeBron dealt with that. You know, we saw Kyrie flourish in the playoffs, but KD has Kyrie, and even an older Kyrie. So, you know, if KD can at least make a finals or whatever with this team, then we have to just. Yeah,
let's not forget he only made one final, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that. I'm happy. To me, there's no excuses. There's no asterisks. None of that, because that's just the name of the game. These things happen.
No, we're the chance
and like,
real.
And hey, listen, like both Golden State has been helped and hurt by the exact same situation. So I'm not about to. And granted, okay, it's easy for me to say I'm from Toronto, whatever. But you know, life happens. You know, and some days it works in your favor, some days it doesn't. And we're champions, man. I still have to pinch myself. Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm gonna show you my background. It's the Kyle Lowry picture. This amazing picture.
Yeah.
And I'm a Laker fan, so I'm thinking I might be able to go back to back with, you know, winning last year and winning this year.
Yeah.
But I thought the right way to do this is to keep my background the same until ring night.
Yeah.
Once we get our rings and it's official, then I could probably switch to a Laker background.
And people forget that LeBron missed 30 games. They're making a big deal about them not making the playoffs. I'm like, he missed 30 games. I would say though, you know, I don't think that Rich Paul is the smartest dude in the world. That whole situation
with AD
with AD was just like, man, guys, it didn't really need to go like that. And
it didn't have to at all.
And the way it went down with, you know, how it affected the players. I'm sort of two minds with that,
Yeah.
which is just like, guys, stop being babies. You know, I'm not about to go into the whole, you're paid millions of bucks, because
Yeah.
I think it's arbitrary. You know, once you get to that position, it's just like any
This is
other
what it is,
paycheck.
yeah.
But it's like, you're here to do a job. Like, stop getting so sensitive. Like, what are you so sensitive about?
I know, and
show up and play, man.
I know, and it's AD.
That's why you gotta love Kawhi. Show up and play. It might not be where you want to be. It might not be the situation you want to be, but show up and play, because that's what you're doing here. Be thankful that you're in the
Thank
NBA.
you,
know how many people can't make it to the NBA? I don't want to hear about this crying. LeBron didn't want us, so we couldn't figure out how to get our mind. Like, stop it, man.
You know what I'm saying? If you watch ball, you see how nice AD is. It's different if they got traded for Fred VanVleet, and they can make a case, oh, we're better than Fred. No, this is AD.
Even if still, man, I don't want to hear it. Stop it. Stop crying. Whatever, man. Shut up. Kidding me. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like that about a lot of athletes. It's like, are you a soccer fan? No. So we can't talk about that then. All right, move on. I'll help you out. We'll move this.
We're almost done. Now, this is something we've been asking everyone, so you probably get out your phone for this one, but your favorite app that's not social media right now.
My favorite app that's not social media. So I've been trying to really reduce my apps on my phone.
Okay.
And so I've taken all the games off, which has been really not really that smart, because now instead of spending my time on games on my app, I'm on social media. So I would say my next favorite app is what would my next favorite app be? Oh, I got this Greek app on my phone, where I'm like trying to study Greek or
kind of like a
refresh myself.
Duolingo?
Yeah, I don't even know what it's called. It's called iLang.
iLang, okay.
Yeah, so it's like basic Greek.
Oh,
And
but
so,
it's strictly Greek though.
Yeah, it's strictly Greek. So I'm just like doing like learning more nouns, because I can speak a little Greek.
Yeah.
But I'm good with like verbs, but I need I don't have enough sort of nouns, like enough things. So I've been trying to every now and then get to it.
I
So
like that.
That's how I'm trying to occupy my time right now.
Okay, not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
This is
that
the last
works.
one.
Yeah.
No.
I used to have solitaire,
Solitaire.
but then I started feeling like I was my dad, and I was like, you need to.
No,
you need that
I'm with
yeah.
you with the games, but I'm a Candy Crush fiend.
Oh, are
So,
you okay?
Yeah, I'm at like level.
I never
like,
got into Candy Crush.
I'm at level like 900 on all different every version of it.
People used to send me that stuff on Facebook, like the
the
invites.
invites.
I'm like, what is this? They're like, stop it, man.
No, it's just like Bejeweled, but like
Yeah.
the same thing as
Like,
Bejeweled.
so
yeah.
you're speaking gibberish to me, but I don't even know. So I'll tell you something funny. When I was a kid, everybody had a system. I never had a system. My parents didn't think a system was in the cards. I don't even think we ever asked. We were,
You just knew what it was.
We were very immigrant, Nigeria. Like when my dad came to Canada, we had been here for about, I think, 3 or 4 years. I was in grade 3. He brought these grade 1 books from Nigeria and told me to do the math and the grammar, and I couldn't do any of it. So he's like, "What are they teaching you in Canada?" He got really upset.
Damn.
So we definitely weren't getting a console. And no, it's not even like it's a true story. Well, it's funny because we had some friends. I had this friend, my buddy Patrick, where for Christmas time, his mom went and bought us toys, my sister and I toys, and my other sister, and our parents bought them books.
Yo.
Yeah. So, anyways,
I know those ones.
I said that all to say that I started playing piano very young, and so when I was getting a little older, I go to play video games with my friends, and I just sucked. I still to this day, I don't know what it is. I can't play video games. And I remember one day, one of my buddies just looked at me. They're like, "Yo, but you play piano, man. You're supposed to be coordinated. How are you this bad?" So
supposed to be damn. No, no, that's me the same way. Like, I think we had PlayStation 2 when I grew up, like right when it came out, and I was like, that was such a shock. Like, I was like, is this really for us? Like, is it every borrowing it from someone? Like,
yeah.
But after that, no systems like that. That was the last of it.
Go to your friend's house.
Oh yeah, no, that was basically. But I was always trash. I was like, give me the headset. You know what I'm saying? Y'all play Call of Duty, y'all play Halo. Give me the headset. I'll talk.
Yeah.
Y'all do your thing.
Yeah, I remember once I skipped school to play video games. Must have been in like grade 5 or something like that. Maybe 4. I was with my buddy, and the school called his house, said, "Hey, are you coming to school?" He goes, "No." And I was like, "Yo, tell him I'm not coming to school. I'm with you," right? But he didn't say that. So then I went back to school to pick up my sister. They're like, hey, where have you been, man? They had your name on the loudspeaker everywhere. You didn't come to school. I was like, oh, I'm in trouble.
Don't kill me.
Yeah,
Tell him
in
I'm
trouble.
with you.
Yeah, tell them I'm with you.
Only in grade 4 does that make sense.
Yeah.
Yo, tell them I ain't come to me.
Tell the administrators I'm with you. But now that I think about it, just like, wow, I was at his house, so no parents around, but like, whatever, I grew up in Regent Park, right? So
Yeah.
now, like, all of that makes sense, but doesn't make sense at the same time. It's like, oh yeah, no, I don't have to go to school. If I tell my parents I don't want to go to school, they'll say, oh, it's fine, I don't have to go to school.
No, let's be cool with it.
Yeah, not my parents though. Not my parents.
Man.
That's I'm not sure how big that belt was, but yeah.
We know how that went down.
Yeah. It wasn't too pretty. Yeah.
This is the last one. Now, people get a certain level of success, and money, we see them buy a lot of random animals. Now, we saw Bieber with his monkey, Mike Tyson with his tiger.
Yeah.
Now, when you get to that level, what animal are you gonna buy?
I'm not really an animal person, to tell you the truth. What animal would I buy?
You have to do it when you have.
If you had to do it,
you have to listen. Clearly, it's a thing because all these guys who have all this money, Michael Jackson as well.
Yeah.
Once you get hundreds of millions of dollars, that's what they do with it.
Yeah.
And they buy animals, so it must be a thing that has to be done.
it might. Yeah, I tell you, so my theory on that is just like, if you truly knew what the animals were like, in their natural habitat, why on earth,
why would you want to take them out of that?
But if I had to get an animal, I guess I'd probably get a rattlesnake.
A rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be like, that would be the sort of like if someone's in the house, you just let the rattlesnake go down. You like, like I don't mess with people when they're sleeping, but if somebody's not, somewhere they shouldn't have been.
You're a savage. You're a savage.
And just make sure that you've got a couple of live mice that you just, so first they jump in because of the mice. And then the rattlesnake.
This costs more for life,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's okay.
That's fine? Yeah, I had a friend, she had a snake, and it was like hidden. I think her dad didn't know about it for a little bit. I don't know how you hide a snake from your dad, but she had it in her closet. And when she used to have parties, like
she'd bring it out?
She'd bring it out and not tell anybody. I said, when people are on drugs and drunk is not the time to be bringing out snakes.
Yeah, that's what she probably would do. That's crazy. You didn't see the scales or anything like that, like when they shed?
She had it as in like I was about to say a jar, but an aquarium, whatever it is, in her closet. So
yeah, so people, see, I've never been like somebody. I've never been really interested in getting any animal.
Not even anything.
Nothing. Like nah.
Actually, you know what? I feel you on that because my urge to get a dog has been like a very, very recent thing. Growing up, I wouldn't even think of like getting an animal. Not even nothing. No, I get you now because I want a dog, but that's a recent thing. Like the last couple of years, I
get that. People getting dogs because nobody knows how to talk to anybody now. So it's like your way to get into the dog park. So
don't kill me.
I guess I get that. Maybe I'll just bring a leash and pretend that there's a dog somewhere running around just so I can talk to people. But, other than that, yeah.
I said bring a leash.
Yeah, just bring a leash. It's like, where's your dog? Oh, it's somewhere.
It's running. Help me find it.
Yeah, help me find it. Let's go for a long walk. Maybe it ran away.
Yo.
Can you help me put posters up? Yeah. My printer's broken. Can I come over and use yours?
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo, I hope there's nobody doing that right now. That's
I bet
nasty.
there's lots of people doing that. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But I guess it would work though. You imagine that, the sympathy you would garner.
For sure, it would work.
Heartbroken.
No one would even question.
I don't know what happened to my dog. You just type in dogs and then hit images, print up an image. This is my dog. I was like, wow.
And just pick a name.
Yeah. For sure, you could superimpose, Photoshop yourself with the dog.
Man.
Right?
No, no one will question you either.
Yeah, no. Because who would do something like that?
Exactly.
Who would stoop that low? Yeah, I probably would, but that means the other person has a dog, and I'm like,
Can we see how much?
You know what? I've been talking too much, so I'm disappointed in myself.
No, you're good. You're good. Well, we've come to a close. I want to thank you again for coming through. If they want to catch you, the Rex Hotel every Sunday in September, 22nd, 29th, 7 to 9.
I'm funnier in person. Yeah,
you're gonna be spitting some jokes.
What? Yeah, I do jokes. I do an awkward thing. So I don't really tell jokes. I just make the audience feel real awkward. Do some awkward silence.
And then you start playing.
And then I start playing, yeah. Yeah, it works really well.
I'm sure it does. It does.
Yeah, just like I like to leave it for like a real, real long time.
Well,
right?
thanks again for coming through.
Hey, listen, you're welcome.
No,
Yeah.
This has been In the Cut. Know yourself.